Bueno,
Estás como
buenos
un bebé, ¿o no?
días, buenas tardes o buenas noches. Nos encanta que nos estén acompañando el día de hoy en la clase de español básico. Esperamos que disfruten y aprendan mucho este espacio que es hecho con mucho amor para todos ustedes. Los invitamos para que también nos sigan en nuestras redes sociales.
Okay, welcome everyone. It's so nice to see you here again. The space is made for you to learn something, for you to practice, for you to share with other people. And we invite you to follow us on our social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. And okay, we're going to start with our Spanish class. Clase de español. La clase de español de hoy es acerca de un lugar para vivir. A place to live. Okay, looking for a place to live. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing with you some different like short conversations in which we can see expressions and vocabulary concerning places to live, or what would you ask when you want to find a place to move. Yes, to move. Okay, so I'm going to start with these short questions to practice vocabulary about house, about living. So the first one says, ¿tienes casa propia? That's something you can probably ask a friend or is someone, and you want to know if they live in a house on their own. Yes, they own the place where they live. ¿Tienes casa propia? Yes, do you have a house of your own, or do you own a house? We would just say tener casa propia, to have your own house. And the other one is, ¿vives en una casa alquilada? ¿Vives en una casa alquilada? Do you live in a rented house? Alquilada would be the word for rented. And it's also a verb. It comes from the verb alquilar. Alquilar would be to rent. Okay, so I'm going to read them again, and you can listen to my pronunciation. ¿Tienes casa propia? ¿Vives en una casa alquilada? Okay. Would anybody like to please read and practice your pronunciation in Spanish?
Yeah, sí.
Or do you have any?
¿Tienes casa propia? ¿Vives en una casa alquilada?
Alquilada.
Alquilada.
Eso, perfecto.
Oh, gracias.
Ajá. Y arriba, propia. Es solo 2 sílabas, propia. Y el acento, como el estrés, está en la primera sílaba. The stress is in the first syllable. So you say propia. Okay. Propia is an adjective, so remember you can use this word for many other contexts, and it has to change according to the gender, if it's feminine or masculine, and according to the number. So in this case, we normally say in this expression casa propia in singular, because we are just trying to know if the person owns the house where they live tener casa propia. But of course you can say propio, my own, mi propio, yes, my own cell phone, mi propio celular. Okay. So,
Diana,
sí.
hi. It is a little bit of a personal question. ¿Es una pregunta personal in Colombia o no?
Sí, es una pregunta personal. Sí. Sí, es personal. Sí, no le preguntas a muchas personas si tienen una casa o no. Pero a veces sí es, si tienes confianza, if you are close to the person, maybe somehow you can like go in that topic in conversation with that person, so you can ask. But yes, it's a personal thing to ask.
So in the States, we could qualify that, yes, I own a house, but in reality, most people pay for that house for like 30 years. They borrow money on it. So when they say own a house, they might own maybe 2% of it. The rest of it is owned by the bank.
Well, it happens the same in Colombia.
Yeah. Sometimes in a bad economy,
yes,
the house could be less than what the person owes on it, and it's kind of a negative ownership.
In England, it would be very rude to ask, do you own a house?
Oh, wow.
Well, maybe if it's a very good friend or colleague that you know for years, but it's quite, so that is why I was asking. In my country, it's fine.
It's fine here too.
Yes, it's not.
Too.
You would have to have a certain like to be at a certain point close to the person, but sometimes I don't know, the conversation just happens and it's not actually not too rude. I mean, maybe yes, at some point, if you don't know very much the person, can be, but at some point it isn't. I was going to, I forgot, I wanted to, what you call in English the word mortgage, in Spanish is hipoteca. I'm writing it in the chat. Hipoteca. En español decimos, tengo una hipoteca con el banco. Tener una o tener el préstamo. Préstamo would be a loan. Yes, the loan. Préstamo. Préstamo, the loan. But the special name for the mortgage, which is the loan for buying a house, is hipoteca in Spanish. Okay, so I'm going to continue here, and I have again some expressions that we're going to be using in the conversations I will show. So comprar casa is comprar, which means to buy, and then I have 3 different verbs for renting, for to rent. We do have the verb rentar, rentar una casa, it's okay. Alquilar is another verb, means exactly the same. You just, the house is not yours, you just pay monthly a fee for living in the house. Or arrendar. Rentar, alquilar, or arrendar una casa. To rent a house. 3 different verbs. answer. Apartamento would be something apartment or flat as you call it in England. Casa de campo, which would be a house in the countryside. No, casa de campo. Apartamento tipo estudio. Apartamento tipo estudio. A studio apartment. Those apartments which are like only one room. Yes. Or I think this is only in Colombia. We have this shorter way to call it, and we call them aparta estudio. We kind of take the word apartamento and put it together with the estudio, take out a little piece of apartamento, and we make just one word, aparta estudio. And we have also casa unifamiliar, which I somehow relate to or somehow think it would be what you call a detached house. The house that is really like big for the family, normally has 2 levels, has 3, 4, 5 rooms. Yes. Casa unifamiliar. Because it's like 4, yes, for a big family. If you have, normally they have maybe a garden and or a backyard, un jardín y un patio trasero. Esas las llamamos casa unifamiliar. Okay, do you have any questions here? Or if
Diana,
not, I will continue.
sorry.
Sí, no problem. Tell me.
In English is detached house. This word. I mean the pronunciation because
detached house.
Detached.
Detached, the pronunciation.
Yes, detached house.
Yes, detached house. Y es algo similar a lo que llamamos en español la unifamiliar. Detached.
Okay, that is a normally house in United States, yes, because I'm from Colombia and here it's not common to have this kind of house because we live in like an apartment. Yes.
Yes,
okay.
it's true.
I call detached house when it's only one family in one house. Yes.
Yes, that's true.
Okay. Thank you, Diana.
So, Diana, unifamiliar, that could also be like single family, right? In literal translation.
In literal translation,
Which we also use in English, single family homes.
Single family homes. Okay, interesting. Yes, I think I saw that name when I was trying to see the different types of house. Yes, single family home. Okay, thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to write that in the chat. single. Well, if there is somebody here who is learning English. Single family home. La casa unifamiliar, sí.
And you, in England, they have semi-detached house. Cuando tú compartir una casa para dos familias.
Sí.
And terraced house. It's a row of houses and then, yeah, they're separated in individual houses.
Qué bien, interesante.
And maybe
Yes,
maybe for a lady who's learning English, she might already know it, but we also have the term condominium, townhouse, and apartment. And apartment typically is rented. A condominium could be just like an apartment. It's an attached home, but the person usually owns it. And then a town or townhouse is also attached, but it's usually not just a flat, but it could have a garage and several stories. That's another way we say it in English sometimes here.
interesting. Okay, semi-detached house. Okay, thank you, Sorika. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Well,
no problem.
Thank you so much. I think, well, in Colombia, I wouldn't say it is like that because, well, in Colombia, we do have several families living in the same house, but it's just one house for, for all the family. It's two families. I don't know, maybe even three. And we all live in the same house. Okay, can you hear me? I don't know.
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Me too.
Thank you. It's because I see like frozen faces, so I don't know if maybe you're not listening to me. You cannot hear me. Okay, I'm going to continue here. Okay, so now I'm going to show you two short conversations in which they speak about moving and speak about how they are looking for a place to move or to live. So I have here a man and a woman, friends talking, yes, and they would say something like this. Hola Sandra, escuché que te vas a mudar de casa. Hola Sandra, escuché que te vas a mudar de casa. Hello Sandra, I heard you are going to move house. Te vas a mudar. So we have here the verb mudar, which is to move house. Well, mudarse, it's a reflexive verb. Mudarse, mudarse de casa. And she would say, hola Esteban, sí, pero aún no he encontrado un lugar que me guste. Mi familia y yo queremos comprar una casa. Okay. Hola Esteban, sí, pero aún no he encontrado un lugar que me guste. Mi familia y yo queremos comprar una casa. Would be something like, hello Esteban, yes, but I haven't found a place I like yet. Sí, pero aún no he encontrado un lugar que me guste. My family and I want to buy a house. Mi familia y yo queremos comprar una casa. Yes, so we have here comprar una casa. And here I have this expression, Aún no he encontrado. Aún no he encontrado, which is I haven't found yet. Yes. This aún is the yet. Yes. But in Spanish, we normally, although you can also use it at the end of the sentence, but normally we put it in the beginning. Aún no he encontrado un lugar. But you can also say, pero no he encontrado un lugar que me guste aún. In Spanish, we have that. It's more flexible. Okay, so I'm going to read again so you can listen to my pronunciation, and I am always inviting you to read again to practice your pronunciation.
Hey, Deanna?
So I will say, hola, sí.
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment about them. Usually we don't say, I heard you are going to move house. Usually just say, I heard you're going to move out. It's not
to move
common.
out.
Yeah, it's not common to move. Usually don't say move house. That move house means like you're going to physically move the house. But usually
Move
when
the
you
house. Oh,
just move out. I heard you're going to move out.
In England, they say move house. If you move out, it means you're not necessarily buying a new house. You're just maybe looking for a new flat. So here we say to move house.
To move house. Yes, because there is like the three. I have heard three different expressions in English, which would be, one was to move house, the other is to move out, and the other one is to move in.
Yeah.
Right. To move in also exists. In my I mean, from what I wanted to say, that's why I prefer this one, because in what I understand, to move out refers more like when you are leaving one house to go to another one.
Yes.
So you are moving out. But yes, but thank you very much. So you would say in maybe Canada or the United States, you're going to move out.
Diana, por favor.
But, sí.
No, please continue. After you. Oops.
Oh, sorry. Nick, were you speaking? I couldn't.
A couple of things. One is casa, in this case, could also mean home, right? Not just house, not a physical house, but like home. I'm moving my home to another place. And then on the Spanish, on the other one is aún no. Could you use here the todavía, or that's something else?
You can use todavía.
Todavía. But it might have
todavía.
And then when you say me guste, is it, call it gerund form, right? It's not the normal form. It's not the declaratory form of the verb.
Yes, no, it's not like the normal present form. It's called, that's the subjuntivo.
Oh, subjuntivo, yes, the subjunctive.
Yes,
not
the subjunctive. Yes, yes, me too. I love that I already know it. Yes, it's because it's a subordinate sentence, the verb like is like in a second sentence, which is subordinate. So that's why it has to be in subjunctive.
Gracias.
Thank you for asking and for sharing.
Hi,
Sin
Diana.
mudar de casa.
Yeah.
¿Sí?
Can you explain again why that's subjective? Because can you explain that again?
Okay, yes, okay. There are some expressions and there are some sentences which are made up like of two sentences, two phrases, let's say. So one is like the principal, the main sentence, and then there is another sentence that is a subordinate sentence. If you take the subordinate sentence alone, it doesn't have any meaning by itself. You need the other main sentence to make the whole thing work. So when you have these kinds of sentences, the subordinate sentence needs to be, the verb needs to be conjugated in the subjunctive form. So this is why this me guste and not me gusta, because if you take the verb gustar in present simple, and for first person it would be me gusta, but in this case, since it's not the main verb of the sentence, it's a subordinate sentence, you need to use it in this other form.
Because it is in contrada as well. Gracias, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Yes, the main verb is encontrar. The main sentence is aún no he encontrado un lugar. And then the other one is like a complement, more complement to the sentence, is subordinate, so it doesn't work with the conjugation of the other one. Okay. So I'm going to read because I would like to hear someone practicing their pronunciation, okay? So I will say the sentences. They say, hola Sandra, escuché que te vas a mudar de casa. Hola Esteban, sí, pero aún no he encontrado un lugar que me guste. Mi familia y yo queremos comprar una casa. So I welcome you, I invite you to read.
Hola, Sandra. Escuché que te vas a mudar de casa. Hola, Esteban. Sí, pero aún no he encontrado un lugar que me guste. Mi familia y yo queremos comprar una casa.
Eso, Mike, súper bien.
Gracias.
Diana, I'm sorry, I have another question. It's because it comes up all the time. In English, we would say, I heard, just like you say there. But wouldn't escuchar means to, what's the difference between oír and escuchar? I thought oír was to hear.
Sí. Well, escuché, oí. Actually, in this case, you could also use the verb oír, oí, que te vas a mudar. Escuché que te vas a mudar. Yes, but it's the expression. The expression makes it like the expression doesn't have like one specific verb, that you can use to say it. Just when you are saying, oh, I heard, somewhere I just realized because I heard from somewhere. In Spanish, you can use the two verbs and it's not a big deal. You say escuché, oí. It just means that you heard somewhere and you knew about this topic or this event. Yes, maybe not because of the person who actually is doing the thing, but you just heard it somewhere. Escuché, oí. Yes, but you're right. You can also use the verb oír. Jessica.
If I want to say, I'm listening to you, then you te me escuchando? No,
Sí.
Te estoy escuchando, right? Not te estoy oído.
No, because yes, it's like the same in English. I think it's like the same thing between listen and hear. Listening is more active and you're more concentrated. And so in Spanish, escuchar is that one when you are really paying attention and is more active. Oír is more passive. Yes, but it's the expression. The expression allows you to use either one.
Gracias.
Okay, you're very welcome. Jessica, yes, tell me.
Yes, Diana, this is that I want to say, because in Spanish, I think that is more common to say escuché when you are paying attention a lot and as the other person or something like that. And when we use oí, I use when it's like a sound or a noise in the street. I use that. Oí que algo cayó. Oí algo en la cocina. Something like that. Yes. But in English, I don't know what word can I use for that. Like when it's not like more attention. Yes, the traduction of oí in English.
The translation of oír. Yes, mostly is the same. It's always the same. It's listen is for escuchar. Here would be for.
Okay. Here is more
for
more active that you say before. Okay.
Sí, listening is más activo.
Okay. Thank you, Diana.
Thank you, Jessica. Okay. I'm going to move on if you are okay with that. Okay. So Esteban says, quizás te puedo ayudar. Mi hermano trabaja en una agencia inmobiliaria. Yes, quizás te puedo ayudar. Maybe I can help you. Mi hermano trabaja, my brother works, en una agencia inmobiliaria, in a real estate agency. En Spanish, agencia inmobiliaria. En serio, sería genial tener contacto con alguien de confianza. En serio, like seriously, oh really? Sería genial. It would be great. Sería genial. To have contact with someone you trust. This is like tener contacto con alguien de confianza. Yes, to have a contact in the agency of someone that is, yes, more trustable. Can you say that? Okay, so I'm going to read again so that you listen to the pronunciation, and you are welcome to make questions or read. Okay. Quizás te puedo ayudar. Mi hermano trabaja en una agencia inmobiliaria. En serio, sería genial tener contacto con alguien de confianza. I hear you. Bueno, los escucho, preguntas o para que lean y practiquen la pronunciación, por favor, y gracias.
Quizás te puedo ayudar. Mi hermano trabaja en una agencia inmobiliaria. Oh, ¿me ayudas con eso? Inmobiliaria. Okay. En serio,
Sí.
sería genial tener contacto con alguien de confianza.
Eso es súper bien. Inmobiliaria.
Okay. Inmobiliaria. Gracias.
Eso, súper bien. Me gusta, eso está súper bien. Listo. ¿Alguna pregunta? ¿O alguien más quiere pronunciar? Okay, so in here you have this expression, very useful if you ever want to rent, to buy something in a place where they speak Spanish. Agencia inmobiliaria. Okay. So I'm going to go on. Okay. So he says, le daré tu número. ¿Qué clase de lugar estás buscando? Le daré tu número. I'll give him your number. ¿Qué clase de lugar estás buscando? What kind of place are you looking for? Estás buscando. Yes, to look for. To be looking for. Yes. ¿Qué clase? Remember, clase works for type or kind. Pues la verdad, necesito una casa grande. Ya sabes que somos mi esposo, los 2 niños y yo. Pues la verdad, well, the truth is, necesito una casa grande. I need a big house. Ya sabes que somos mi esposo, los 2 niños y yo. You know we are my husband, the 2 kids, and me. Okay, so I'm going to read again, and I invite you to read too and practice. Le daré tu número. Le daré tu número. ¿Qué clase de lugar estás buscando? Pues la verdad necesito una casa grande. Ya sabes que somos mi esposo, los 2 niños y yo. Okay. Please, somebody to read the sentences and practice the pronunciation.
I would like to try.
Yes, of course.
Le daré tu número. ¿Qué clase de lugar estás buscando? Pues la verdad necesito una casa grande. Sabes que somos mi esposo, los 2 niños y yo.
Sí, súper bien.
Así.
¿Alguien más le gustaría leer? ¿O alguien tiene?
Okay, I'll do it. Le daré tu número. ¿Qué clase de lugar estás buscando? Pues la verdad necesito una casa grande. Ya sabes que somos mi esposo, los 2 niños y yo.
Sí, súper. Súper, súper bien. ¿Alguien más o sigo? ¿O alguna pregunta? Voy a continuar. Tengo por aquí. ¿Y qué tal un apartamento? ¿Crees que sería muy pequeño? Otra vez. ¿Y qué tal un apartamento? ¿Crees que sería muy pequeño? How about an apartment? Do you think, crees, do you think it would be too small? ¿Crees que sería muy pequeño? In this case, I am using muy instead of demasiado, which is literally too, demasiado, yes. But in here, it's this sentence is very normal because we are implying that we're saying something like, ¿crees que sería muy pequeño para ustedes? Like, do you think it would be very small for you? Like, or too small for you? So that's why we sometimes in this kind of sentences in which we are implying that yes, it's too small, but you don't use exactly the word demasiado. It's implicit there. It just means it's very small for you. Too small for you, very small for you. We sometimes change that expression for muy. Okay, and then we have mi esposo prefiere una casa. Además tenemos un perro grande que necesita espacio. Mi esposo prefiere una casa. Además tenemos un perro grande que necesita espacio. My husband prefers a house, or would rather buy a house. Besides, además, we have a big dog. Tenemos un perro grande that needs space, que necesita espacio. Ok, lo leo de nuevo para que alguien practique la pronunciación. ¿Y qué tal un apartamento? ¿Crees que sería muy pequeño? Mi esposo prefiere una casa. Además, tenemos un perro grande que necesita espacio. Listo. Who would like to read? Or who would like to make a question? A ver, ¿quién? ¿Quién se atreve? Who dares?
Yo.
It's the exact.
I'll give it a try.
Okay.
¿Y qué tal un apartamento? ¿Crees que sería muy pequeño? Mi esposo prefiere una casa. Además, tenemos un perro grande que necesita espacio.
Súper bien. Sería.
Sería.
Eso.
Okay.
Yes, perfect. With the accent there in it makes the word into 3 syllables. Sería.
Sería. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for participating. Okay, sería. Such a beautiful word, sería. Okay, I'm going to continue or stop me if you have any questions. Okay. In here he goes. Es necesario que tenga garaje. Es necesario que tenga garaje. Bye, Jessica. Take care. Jessica is saying that she needs to leave. Es necesario que tenga garaje. Does it need to have a garage, or is it necessary for you to that it has a garage? Sí, eso es muy importante. Y también, si es posible, que tenga patio trasero. Otra vez. Sí, eso es muy importante. Y también, si es posible, que tenga patio trasero. Yes, that's very important. And also, if possible, that it has a backyard. El backyard, un patio trasero o un jardín trasero. También puede ser jardín. Lo voy a poner en el chat. Trasero. The backyard. Okay, I'm going to read again. Es necesario que tenga garaje. Sí, es muy importante. Y también, si es posible, que tenga patio trasero. ¿Alguien que le gustaría leer, por favor?
Ok. ¿Es necesario que tenga garaje? Sí, eso es muy importante. Y también, si es posible, que tenga patio trasero.
Súper bien. Eso me gusta. ¿Alguien más quisiera leer? ¿O alguien tiene una pregunta?
Sí.
Dime.
¿Es necesario que tenga garaje? Sí, eso es muy importante. Y también, si es posible, que tenga patio trasero.
Aquí, posible. Esa O bien tensa. O, posible. Listo. Sí, Marshall.
¿Es necesario que tenga garaje? Sí, eso es muy importante. Y también, si es posible, que tenga patio trasero.
Marshall, patio.
Patio trasero.
Eso. Sí.
Gracias.
So, Diana, we're using here again this subjuntivo, right? The tenga. Because
sí. I'm going to teach you something. For example, when you use the expressions, it's necessary that, or it's important that, because in here, for example, in the question, we're using the expression es necesario. It is necessary that. When you use that kind of expression, the verb goes in subjunctive. Es necesario que. After que, we use the verb in the subjunctive form. Es necesario que tenga, es necesario que viaje, es necesario que venga, es necesario que vaya, es necesario que sea. Y lo mismo, and the same with the expression, it's important that. Es importante que. And so you use the subjunctive. It is important, it's important that you are early. Es importante que estés temprano. Es importante que tengas audífonos. It is important that you have earphones. Que tengas.
So I could say like with deseo que estés feliz siempre.
Also, that's another expression that we always use with the subjunctive. Deseo que. Deseo que seas feliz siempre. Deseo que estés bien.
Seas mejor. Gracias.
Con mucho gusto. Sí, aquí es porque utilizamos es necesario que, so we use tenga. Es necesario que tenga. And then here, since she's saying es muy importante, so I am taking this into the next sentence. It's like she's saying, and it's also important that it has a backyard. That's why, again, here tenga is in the subjunctive form. Yes, it's a little hint of the subjunctive because I know this is one of the most difficult things in Spanish to learn. Okay, so I'm going to continue. Yes. And he says, creo que la mejor opción para ustedes sería una casa unifamiliar. Creo que la mejor opción para ustedes sería una casa unifamiliar. I think the best option for you would be a detached house. I missed here. Sería una casa unifamiliar. Tienes razón, necesitamos un lugar amplio. Tienes razón, necesitamos un lugar amplio. You're right, we need a wide place. I don't know if you would say that for a house, but I put the literal word for amplio. Amplio is a place that has a lot of space. Just that, amplio.
Actually, we have an English word for that. It's ample.
Ample. Oh, wow. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, we need an ample place. I mean, it's rare. I think it's rarely used. Correct me, Mike and Marshall, if I'm wrong, but ample space, we could use that, right?
I think I would say I need a large place.
A large.
Yeah.
But ample is also used in English, right?
You could say ample, but I don't think I've ever heard that before. But yeah, sure, you could say it.
It means the same thing, but it's not common to. It's not common.
Right.
It's a little too fancy, right? It's like, oh, where are you coming from?
Yeah, somebody might say ample. Oh, what do you mean by ample? But yes, you can say it.
But in Spanish, we do use this word amplio mainly for rooms, places that are yes, like made up with rooms or something like that. For example, I could say un salón de clase amplio, like a large classroom, but the place. Una habitación amplia, a large or big bedroom. So we use it.
I would say we need a place that's very spacious.
Spacious, yes.
Going back to ample, for me, ample is clear enough, though. I use that word.
Yes, yes, that's I like that one. Yes, you can relate the word amplio with the word spacious. Yes.
Yes.
Amplio. We do use. Okay. So I'm going to read again, and I will invite someone to read it, please. Creo que la mejor opción para ustedes sería una casa unifamiliar. Tienes razón. Necesitamos un lugar amplio. Who would like to read? Please and thank you.
I will, because no one is volunteering. Creo que la mejor opción para ustedes sería una casa unifamiliar. Tienes razón, necesitamos un lugar amplio.
Eso, Zorita, excelente. Bueno, y me voy otro poquitín con otras dos personas. Dice,
¿Puedo?
sí.
Hola, Andrés. ¿Cómo has estado? Hola, Pedro. Un poco estresado. No he encontrado un estudio para mudarme.
Sí, súper bien. No he encontrado un aparta estudio. Remember, or apartamento tipo estudio. Para mudarme. Remember the verb mudar is reflexive. So you would say para mudarme. Okay. I'm going to continue so that we can see more examples. No sabía que ibas a mudarte. ¿Te interesaría un apartamento amoblado? No sabía que ibas a mudarte. I didn't know you were moving out. ¿Te interesaría un apartamento amoblado? Would you be interested in a furnished apartment? Yes. Amoblado. Sí, me interesaría. ¿En qué sector está? O ¿en qué barrio está? Yes, I would be interested. Sí, me interesaría. ¿En qué sector está? What sector is it in? ¿O en qué barrio está? What neighborhood is it in? Or in which neighborhood is it? Okay. Would somebody like to read those sentences, please?
Sí.
Sí, gracias.
No sabía que ibas a mudarte. Te interesaría un apartamento amoblado? Sí, interesario. ¿En qué sector está? ¿En qué barrio está?
¿En qué barrio está? Esta, Marshall, interesaría. Interesaría. 6 sílabas.
Interesaría.
Interesaría. Esa está mejor.
Interesaría. Siria.
Saría.
Sería. Interesaría.
Casi. Interesaría.
Marshall, when I was struggling with these, somebody told me that just remember the ria. And if you want to make a verb conditional, just instead of rio, just add ria. And then it really helped me because whatever word you think of, you use the basic word and just add ria.
Oh, gracias.
I find it helpful to think about how many syllables it is, and then I count them on my hand as I say it. And then you can start doing it faster and faster.
Oh, that's nice. Yes, I think taking into account how many syllables helps. Interesaría.
I think that probably what helped me was when you explained the syllables. So then I would kind of break it out and pronounce it better.
Interesaría. Or also cut it in two. Like 3 syllables and 3 syllables. And try to just interesaría.
Interesaría.
Haría.
Oh, gracias.
Thank you very much, and everybody who's helping in the class. Okay, so unfortunately, time has come to an end. And I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank you